My dad.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Amanda Lynne. Subscribe to Raze.
And welcome back, everybody. My name is Raze Chaos. You've made it back to my channel, and we have a familiar name, familiar character, because I have done a comic book cover on this character, but I did my best to keep it to that specific issue. This is Cassandra Cain, the Batgirl that is Cassandra Cain. This is a deep dig. This is I mean, there's no way of really talking about Cassandra Cain without having to dig deep, because there is a lot to her, even though seemingly not. She is somewhat two-dimensional, as she's initially a flat out was raised to be a weapon. No personality, no nothing. She didn't even speak. She was not taught how to read. She was not taught how to speak. She was not taught language whatsoever. Her entire perception, cognitive understanding of other people is through their bodies and their reactions, the way they hold themselves, the way they breathe, the way their voice inflections, just everything, eyes, everything. She can read a human being the way some people can read a novel. She actually probably even faster, because she can just zip right through there, get all the information she can. She is the daughter of an assassin or a mercenary known as David Cain, and David Cain and Lady Shiva, which Lady Shiva is in the top, at least in the top 20 major assassins and martial artists in the DC universe. She is within the top 5, if not the number 1 most lethal woman on the planet, as far as hand-to-hand martial arts kind of thing goes. And she's got a very long history as well. Cassandra is basically adopted by Bruce Wayne after he first meets her, and this is talking way back in 1999. So yeah, she wasn't even around. She wasn't even around for a good long time. She is one of the newer additions, but she has proved to be a mainstay. Basically Batman took her under his wing because, yeah, you kind of want to. You can't leave a person like this, who isn't even really a person, just kind of you can't leave somebody in the conditions she has been raised, and the life abilities that she's been taught. You can't leave a person like that to their own devices. They're either going to be like the most bizarre little hermit, the homeless person that just basically eats and survives for just to do that, or she's essentially going to be adopted by somebody. Somebody is going to take this individual and gain her trust and essentially use her as a weapon. And Batman has done his best as far as trying to make her, like he does with the Robins, try to make the best of her. And in this case, it's not about the training. It's more or less about the, hey, let's make you a real person. Let's let's have you interact with people without having to kill them, and that kind of thing. And so yeah, she is extremely deadly, and she's got a bit of a I mean, as far as character wise, she is hard to read. One, because she doesn't speak, and then when he when he gives her the Batgirl costume that he has to use, I mean, she's completely covered. So yeah, you don't get any of the telltale signs that normal people would pick up on. Yeah, she's an enigma the entire time. But like I said, she does have a long history. And Batgirl is not the only mantle she's worn. She was Kasumi for a while. She was the Black Bat. She was known as Orphan for a while. It's just like her identity changes depending on what part of her story you're telling, and basically her outward appearance kind of tells you more about where her headspace is as well. I believe she was Orphan in Young Justice. If you enjoyed that series, that's Cassandra Cain. I believe the only live action appearance she's actually made was from Harley Quinn, the Harley Quinn movie, the solo movie, Harley Quinn, the Birds of Prey, which, okay. Not really sure why they had to do that, but just in a very drastic turn, they make her much younger. She speaks. She's, it's just kind of like, are you sure this is supposed to be Cassandra Cain? But we're gonna go ahead and put this guy away, and we are going to talk about this Batgirl. So, like I said, she has gone through an awful lot in her short existence. She has been on, I know she was in The Outsiders for a while. I think she was in the Titans. I believe, I do know that she was the first Batgirl ever to have her own solo series. They've done intercompany crossovers with her. I believe, I think it was the Dark Horse character Ghost. I believe that's a Dark Horse character. I believe that they did a crossover with Ghost and Batgirl. Even her costume is actually a hand down, because this is the costume that Helena Bertinelli wore during No Man's Land, because she felt that Batgirl represented a much bigger, projected a lot more than her Huntress persona. The symbol there being a version of Batman. And so when Batman just basically told her, no, you can't do this anymore, and took the costume, he gave it to Cassandra. And Cassandra later gave her Batgirl costume to Casey, spoiler. Yeah, Casey. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on her name. But basically the girl that was Spoiler, she basically passed her costume on to her. And eventually she's gotten it back. And she's in the Bat family. And she is she's gone from one that nobody trusts because, hey, she's just much like, Damian Wayne. We've got these small children who have been trained to kill, and Batman just opening up the door and says, bring them on in. But she has slowly earned the trust, as much trust as she could possibly earn. In a lot of ways, she's more dedicated and more trustworthy than a lot of some of the other members of the Bat family. It's just due to her unorthodox means of communications with people. She's hard to trust. It's like you can't read her because she knows how to read people, so she knows how to hide what she's thinking and feeling. They have as time has gone on, they have like showed that she is learning how to write. She's learning language. I don't think she speaks much. It depends on what you're reading as to how much she actually speaks. Because in some cases, she still relies on nonverbal communication, and in others, she almost appears like she's been talking her whole life. It just really depends on the writer and how they're portraying the character. And like with any comic book character, you can pick the version that you enjoy best. And thankfully, and part of what makes Cassandra Cain so good, so enjoyable, is you've got a lot of different interpretations. You've got a lot of different versions. You've got a lot of people have tried to help develop her as a character. So there's a lot to actually drag from. And there's lots of areas where you can just, say, oh, you know what? I think I like this version best. I think I'm going to stick with this. When she's portrayed this way, this is my case, my Cassandra. But yeah, it's a great little character. It's a great idea of somebody teaching somebody who has essentially basically been raised to be a weapon, a biological weapon on the highest scale, and showing that it doesn't even matter how you're raised, you can take control of who you are and how you are. Ultimately, it comes down to you as to the person that you want to be. And she is a great example of that, because even though she was basically taught her entire life to just kill, you can see that it didn't necessarily, well, in a lot of ways, she was able to do that because she didn't see the depth of a person. She wouldn't get to know them. They were just biological objects like she was. She was raised to be that way. She assumes everybody else is like that. She was basically seeing people as machines, and if they didn't do what if they didn't do something that she felt that or she thought that they should, or wasn't behaving correctly or in a manner that coincided with what she wanted, she could just kill them without a thought. I mean, the actual definition of insanity is not being able to tell the difference between right and wrong. And in this case, she didn't. She could not tell the difference because she treated people the way you would treat any inanimate object. You get mad when it doesn't do exactly what you want. You push it, you shape it, you break it. And that's a lot of the way she lived. And Batman is in a lot of ways trying to deprogram that, which is hard to do with somebody that's been trained since birth. Even if she hasn't, her age has like fluctuated. In some cases, she's like 23. And in a lot of cases, she's a lot younger. Trying to get that level of her training, conditioning in a person, that's really hard to break, and Batman is just not giving up on it. And as she's gone on, she has gained the trust of other members of the Bat family who appreciate what she's going through and is trying to help her along the way. But yeah, she's just such an interesting character. Interesting in the aspect that there is initially there was no character. She, like I said, she was a blank slate, outside of her actions. So basically, this is a character you get to watch be built in personality, because everything has an effect on somebody. So watching her evolve and mature there have been complaints within the comic that teaching her how to speak and write and everything has actually affected her fighting style, her effectiveness, or her ability to read people, because now she has the distraction of understanding what somebody's saying, and essentially having only just started to learn and understand verbally, she is a little susceptible to lying. Not so much in person, because she can read the person and understand that they're lying, but, you know, over the phone, over some kind of telecommunication, through a written correspondence, it's a little bit harder to discern a lie if you've never had to deal with liars. It's a lot harder to spot them. But at any rate, we are going to go ahead and take this figure out and have a look at her, because she's just like right up there on the top as far as like awesome Batman characters, awesome Bat family characters, and we've got to have a look at this. And this is really cool. I like that Funko's been doing this. I say DC. I like that Funko's been doing this with the DC characters. This is from the same line as the Spoiler that I did a video on a while back, and they've done the exact same thing. She is in an action pose. You've got the stand attached to the back, and makes for a much more dynamic look. And yeah, it lets the cape flow out, make her seem bigger than she is. Yeah, her costume isn't much. It's pretty much just whatever fabric they're using, which, you know, sometimes it seems like it's a thin, like, you know, spandex or lycra or something. And sometimes it's a much heavier, say, bulletproof Kevlar type mesh. But aside from that, you've just pretty much got the bat symbol on her chest, and then the utility belt, the yellow utility belt that just stands out that much more, considering that everything else is black. The eyes are interesting just because, you know, in some cases, the eyes, you know, in the comic, have black lenses on there, so it would be all black and everything. But I like the white eyes on this thing. It's a great look, and it's a great looking pop. And, you know, any Batman collector would be happy to have this in their collection, as far as getting the extended Batman family going on, because you get like certain levels to the Batman family. You get you get Batman and Robin, and then it slightly extends when you get the Batman, Robin, Batgirl, you know, Bat Hound, that kind of stuff, the old ones, and then the further, more expanded, where, you know, you've got Batman and Robin, and then Nightwing comes back, you know, Barbara Gordon as Oracle, bringing her little crew of Batgirls into the group, being like Spoiler, Cassandra. I mean, they have flat out done that, where you've got your own, you know, crew of Robins. I mean, yeah, it works all the way around. And this has definitely been a very, very exciting addition to it, pretty much since she started. So, yeah, we've got a little Cassandra Cain. Yeah, she is great, and I was happy to get the Batgirl comic cover that I did, which I've got a playlist with all the comic book covers that I like to plug every once in a while. And you know, spoiler alert, there's another comic book cover tomorrow, but who will it be? But yeah, it's just one of those things where this character is so so great and so diverse as far as her being a blank slate to begin with, leaves a lot of avenues to explore, and they have explored some. And then when you consider you've got the New 52 and that kind of stuff that like blew through there, they've been able to play with their character even more because they've had like, you know, company reboots and that kind of stuff where they're just like, hey, I want to do her this way. But as long as you don't mess with the core of this character, you can pretty much go in any direction. But I'm kind of interested in hearing from you guys. Are you a big, is this Cassandra Cain, is she like a interesting character to you? Is she your favorite Batgirl? I mean, there have been a couple Batgirls at this point. There, you know, Barbara Gordon wasn't even the first, but there have been several Batgirls in throughout history. And how does she rank amongst them? Honestly, that to me, all the Batgirls have been great. So it's really hard to rate them. It's hard rating them just because they're all so good that it's kind of like, which is your favorite version of chocolate? You know what I mean? It's like, it's like rating milk chocolate versus dark chocolate. It's like, it's like people just see chocolate and they freaking want it. But with Batgirls, it's kind of like, you know what? It's Batgirl. Put her in there. But yeah, the character, the name Batgirl has always been very strong the entire time, no matter who is wearing the mantle. But I'd be interested in hearing who your favorite is, and why they're your favorite. But again, I mean, not to take away from any of the others, but God, I'm going on again. This is what happens. You get the big Nightwing fan, and of course he's going to go on about Batgirl a little too long, even if it isn't the same Batgirl that he would be going on about. But at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like I said, let me know about down below. Talk Batgirl down in the comments. I want to hear it. But at any rate, I hope you have a great day, and never forget, the life is full of odd moments. You never know when you're going to be defined.